Shalom, giving all honor, all praise, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rachak, Wadash. Though honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well, and as always, peace, blessings, and salutations unto the hopeful elect tabernacle of David that are scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. Now, this is another passage in the Bible where you have these Christians, these anti-messiahs, and even these turncoat Israelites. This is now what they will use to teach a Gentile salvation. And it's amazing because here it is, we're in 2025. We should be focused on, bigger fish, like prophecy. But, you got certain men that are set up to, withstand the truth, pervert the gospel, seek attention. And, at the end of the day, if you pay attention to these individuals that are, coming with these heresies, it's nonstop. They haven't stopped, since bringing a lot of these things out. Really, since they, formalized their organization. They're not getting into prophecy anymore. Now it's just, we finna tear down the foundation of One West. And that's usually how it begins. All right. But anyway, getting into this, I've done a lesson on this before, but since it's a relevant topic right now, I can just do a quick breeze through breakdown of, what this is talking about. So is the actual Gentiles, the non-Israelite nations, are they going to be saved? And you got the turncoats that's saying that there's going to be a simultaneous salvation where you're going to have a very small remnant of believers from the heathen that are kept alive during the judgment. They're going to be preserved. And because they didn't die in the destruction, that means that they were saved. So that's salvation. But they also, in the same token, will admit that these people that are going to be alive, they're going to be kept alive to go into captivity. They're going to be kept alive to be subjugated. And I did a lesson previously, and even I used a video from a year ago where that reprobate, he was having a debate with another Christian on this particular topic, and he argued that these nations are not going to be equal with us. They're not going to rule. They're not going to have any authority, any sovereignty. And if that's taken from you, that's the opposite of salvation. That's not salvation at all. All right. So even he admitted that a year ago, that basically captivity, subjugation is not salvation. So let's get into this. This is Isaiah 49. This is and I think this was on one of their slides in that weak ass PowerPoint presentation. All right, so Isaiah 49, and I'm going to start at the 5th verse. It says, "And now saith the Lord, that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him, though Israel be not gathered." So that would mean that Israel would be scattered. They would be removed to the ends of the earth, right? "Yet I shall be glorious in the eyes of the Lord, and my God shall be my strength. And he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to restore the preserved of Israel." All right. "I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the ends of the earth." So they'll read this second part of the passage, all right, where it has the colon, I will give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth. See, brother, so even in the Tanakh, even in the prophet, it says that the Gentiles will be given a light, and that this will be a salvation unto them unto the ends of the earth. No, no, that's not. This is not saying that the actual heathen nations are going to basically be delivered, with a spectacular divine salvation. All right, we know that our people, when they were removed from out of Israel, when they were scattered amongst the people, their minds and their understandings became darkened. So there needed to be a light shined for them to come to. Like, for example, let's go to the New Testament real quick. Let's go to Romans, the 1st chapter. And we know this is talking about the saints, the Israelites that were in Rome, in the church. He was talking to them. And this is what you had going on. This is Romans 1. And I'm going to start at verse I'll start at 18. And it says, for the wrath of the Most High is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of the Most High is manifest in them. For the Most High have shewed it unto them, because he gave us what? The word. All right, he established a law and a testimony in Jacob. So we had the word of the Most High. We had the oracle. All right, but what ended up happening? They ended up abandoning and disobeying the word. It says, for the invisible things of him, for the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even as eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because that when they knew the Most High, when they knew who he was as a power and how to serve him, they glorified him not as the Most High. All right, they gave this glory unto another, to idols. This is what Israel did. Neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. That's what happened. Anytime our people were scattered and learned the ways of the heathen, their minds became darkened. Okay? So there needed to be a light, to shine onto them. And it tells you that even in John, that our people love darkness rather than light, lest their deeds would. Matter of fact, let me go to it. Yeah, John 3:19, it says, and this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world. Right? Through who? Yahushai. He was the light. Right? Because he was the embodiment of the word. And men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in the Most High. All right, so it was our people that were in darkness that needed to be brought into the light. Let me get this in was it Isaiah 61? Let me go to Isaiah 42. No, it's not this one either. Actually, no. Let me go up. Yep. So this is Isaiah 42, and this is talking about our people, the blindness of Jake. All right. Isaiah 42 and 14, it says, I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. I will make waste mountains and hills and dry up all their herbs. And I will make the rivers islands, and I will dry up the pools, and I will bring the blind by a way that they knew not. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them and crooked things straight. Okay. These things will I do unto them and not forsake them. Who is he talking about? His people. Because they were in darkness, but the Lord said he's going to make the darkness light before them. Okay. They shall be turned back. They shall be greatly ashamed that trust in graven images. When our people start trusting in graven images, worshiping these idols, it was confusion of face. They were ashamed, giving the Lord's glory into idols that say to the molten images, ye are our gods, to a stone, or a piece of wood. Hear ye deaf and look ye blind, that you may see. Who is blind but my servant? And going back to Isaiah 49, who's the Lord's servant? Okay, he said basically Jake, Israel. All right. So going back, it says, who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant, seeing many things, but thou observest not, opening the ears, but heareth not? The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith, restore. All right. And we know this is talking about Israel. Israel was, taken for a spoil because they were disobedient. Okay. So they needed to be broken out of that and restored, brought back to righteousness. All right. Their blindness, had to be removed so that they can actually see the light. All right. So let me go to actually let me do this. Jeremiah. Yeah, this is Jeremiah 4 and 22. It says, for my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sot as children, they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, to do good, they have no knowledge. Talking about the Lord's people. I beheld the earth, and lo, it was without form and void, in the heavens, and they had no light. I beheld the mountains, and lo, they trembled, and all the hills moved lightly. I beheld, and lo, there was no man, and all the birds of the heavens were fled. Hold up. This is the wrong one. Salakia. But I mean, there's various precepts that indicate that it was our people that were in darkness. Let me get this in Baruch then. I'll go there. And this is Baruch 4:1. It says, "This is the book of the commandments of the Most High and the law that endures forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be eliminated." See that? So as long as we stay within, this understanding, through the law of the prophets, all right, you're walking in the presence of the light. These other nations didn't have that. In Israel, when they fell away, they ended up in the congregation of the dead. So they were not in the light. They were in darkness. All right. But Yahweh Shai, being the word, he became that light. So salvation is going to reach the ends of the earth because Israel scattered, and that's where the light is going to be shined. All right. To all the Israelites in these different regions of the earth. Okay. So going back where it says, "I will give thee for a light to the Gentiles." Yeah, the Lord's going to give, we're starting with the prophets. All right. They're going to be the ones that's going to help restore the tribes and gather the tribes back to Jacob through the word. Let me see if I can get that too. Let's go to Sirach 36 and Sirach 36 and 11, it says, "Gather all the tribes of Jacob together and inherit thou them as from the beginning. O Lord, have mercy upon the people that is called by thy name, and upon Israel, whom thou hast named thy firstborn. O be merciful unto Jerusalem, thy holy city, the place of thy rest. Fill Zion with thine unspeakable oracles, and thy people with thy glory. Give testimony unto those that thou hast possessed from the beginning, and raise up prophets that have been in thy name." See that? "Reward them that wait for thee, and let thy prophets be found faithful." So that's how the tribes are going to be gathered together, because the Lord's going to have raised them up, and they're going to fill Zion with unspeakable oracles. All right. They're going to have their testimony. They're going to speak according to the law and to the testimony. And if they're not speaking according to the law and to the testimony, it's because there is no light in them. So the prophets are going to, prophesy into the wind, and those dry bones are going to come together. Okay. So that's who was in the dark and now are able to come into the light. All right. And then it says that thou mayest be my salvation unto the ends of the earth. What people were scattered from one end of the earth even to the other. So let's get some precepts on that to prove that. So this Gentile in this context still talking about Israelites. This is part of the mystery that guys are, having a hard time either understanding, or they, in case of the turncoats, the traitors, they know the truth, but now they're forced to go against it. All right. And you already know it's going to be a brutal end for these guys. But let's go to Isaiah 26 and 15. And it says, "Thou hast increased the nation." And who is that talking about? Israel, right? I brought this precept out in various other lessons dealing with this topic. All right. What does it mean that he increased the nation? Meaning he multiplied us. We're innumerable now. We're as the sand of the sea and as the stars of heaven. And that was a promise that was made to Abraham and his seed and his seed's seed. Okay. That they will be multiplied. So they're increased. It says, "O Lord, thou hast increased the nation, thou art glorified. Thou hast removed it far unto the ends of the earth." See that? So if the nation was multiplied, increased, and then removed, scattered into the other nations, what happens when they're gathered? When they're gathered from the lands where they were carried captive to, they're going to be delivered from those lands, from those places. Okay, let's go from there. Let's go to Deuteronomy 4. Yeah, Deuteronomy 4 and 27, and it says, "And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and you shall be left few in number among the heathen, whether the Lord shall lead you." Okay. I think there's let me see another one. No, it's not here. Hold up. Oh, Salakia. Yeah, my fault. Isaiah 45 and verse 22. And it says, "Look unto me and be ye saved, all the ends of the earth. For I am the most high power, and there is none else." So be ye saved, all the ends of the earth. So that means the other nations. Because, the servant is going to be a light to the Gentiles, the prophet, and ultimately Yahushai. Yahushai is the light to the Gentiles. So they're going to be, saved from the ends of the earth. No. Israel was the ones that were removed into the ends of the earth. So they're the ones that's going to be saved. All right? All the ends of the earth. That's still talking about Israel. Let's go to Jeremiah 25. Start at the 30th verse. And what's going to happen here is like this. Jeremiah 25 and 30 says, "Therefore prophesy thou against all these." It's like therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, the Lord shall roar from on high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout as they that tread the grapes against all inhabitants of the earth. And you can also read Isaiah the 63rd chapter. You can also read Revelation 19 that talks about that wine press. "A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth," which happened to be where Israel is scattered, "for the Lord have a controversy with the nations." Why? Where's this controversy coming from? Why does he have a controversy with the nations? I thought he's going to be actually saving them. Right? There's going to be a few of them that's going to be, willing and wanting to come and serve the Most High's Son and the Israelites. So the Lord's going to let a few of them, but yet the Lord has a controversy. That's not good. He will plead with all flesh. What does that mean, to plead? Are he going to beg them? Please, hey, please let my people, let them go. Let them be restored. Come on, man. Please. Can y'all stop serving yourselves of my people? Can you stop, getting above very high over my people? Can you, stop ruling over my people, please? Nah, plead. It means basically to judge. Look up the word plead. The word is shapat, and it means to judge, govern, vindicate, punish. All right. Down here it says to execute judgment, discriminating of man, vindicating, condemning, and punishing at the theophanic advent for final judgment. So this is what the Lord's coming to do to the nations while guys are teaching that they're going to be receiving salvation alongside Israelites. All right. But where's this controversy coming from? Let's go to Isaiah 34. Isaiah 34 and 1, it says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear and hearken, you people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all the things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter." Okay, now let's go down. So he's going to make war with these nations. Verse 8, "For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and a year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion." That's why he's coming back with that vengeance. This is why he have that controversy with the nations. It's over the children of the Most High, man, Zion. All right, who they scattered and parted his land. They took our inheritance. We were scattered. They all served themselves of us. They became wealthy and rich, over us, being brought low and being enslaved. And then you conspire together to keep us from being a nation. So this is the Lord bringing judgment. All right. So he's going to be bringing judgment to the nations while saving his people from the ends of the earth, starting with Babylon, America, the land of the north. All right, it says, "He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. And the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth." Hey, and 2/3 of our people that are wicked, they're going to be destroyed too. So how the Lord going to be destroying Israelites and saving heathens with his elect? Stop it. Because the Lord's eyes are upon a sinful kingdom, and him having a remnant is why he's not going to fully destroy our people. But he said he's going to give those the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. So they're going to get dealt with too. But you're going to have the elect that are going to be gathered from the four winds of the earth, while the Lord is also going forth from nation to nation in his indignation. All right. It says, "Even unto the other end of the earth, and they shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground." So Isaiah 49, you can get it out your head that that's talking about actual heathen salvation. All right, no, the light is going to be given to these Israelite foreigners, all right, who were in a Gentile state of mind. They're going to be, the light is going to be shown to them, and they're going to walk into it. These other nations, when they're preserved, they're just going to, we're going to force them. All right. Like that prophecy in Zechariah about how if these Hamitic nations don't come to serve the Lord and keep the Feast of Tabernacles, they're going to be basically given no rain. They're going to starve out. So that's control. Okay. So they're going to have no choice but to, serve us and come up under our rule and our standard. But salvation is with the Lord's people. They need to be saved from their sin. All right. And the remnant that the Lord's going to have mercy on, they're going to be saved from his wrath. Okay. It says, thus saith the Lord, the Redeemer of Israel, and his Holy One, to whom, to him whom man despiseth, to him whom the nation abhorreth, to a servant of rulers. Kings shall see and arise, princesses also shall worship. Yeah, because they're going to be forced to. You know, it talks about how the queens will be the nursing mothers, the kings. You know, basically they're gonna become peasants, servants. Because right now it's the opposite. You know, like it says in Ecclesiastes, I have seen servants upon horses, and I've seen basically the princes, walking as servants on the ground. And that's not, we're a nation of kings and priests. But that's how far we've fallen, from glory in the eyes of the Lord. So when the Lord establishes, his mountain, and is going to be exalted, to the top of the hill, all these nations, they're going to basically see that we're pretty much we're over them now. So we're gonna be over them, and they're gonna come and serve us, and they're gonna worship the Father, the Son, and they're gonna bow to the children of the Most High. It's because of the Lord that is faithful and the Holy One of Israel, and He shall choose thee. All right. So that's basically what it's gonna be. All right. And then you read. Matter of fact, let me keep reading. It says, verse 8, thus saith the Lord, and in an acceptable time have I heard thee, and in a day of salvation have I helped thee. And I will preserve thee, Israel, and give thee for a covenant of the people, to establish the earth, to cause to inherit the desolate heritages, because, everything's going to be in ruins, but they're going to be, the sons of the strangers, they're going to come and build. All right, they're going to go into captivity, so they're going to rebuild the desolate places. It tells you that in Isaiah the 36th chapter as well. All right, it says that thou mayest say to the prisoners, go forth, to them that are in darkness, shew yourselves. Our people were in the prisons, snared in the prison houses. All right, our people were in darkness. It says, shew yourselves, they shall feed in the ways, and their pasture shall be in all high places. All right. So this is clearly talking about our people. And this, this is just me making it precise, and because I can go way longer than this, but for just to keep it short, that's pretty much the understanding of this passage here. So we know that it was our people that were in darkness that have to be brought to the light. All right, and Yahweh Shai would be that light. And then you have the prophets who also have the light, through Yahweh Shai and the Holy Spirit, that day star that shines in the heart of the prophets. All right, they're going to, shine that light. And our people that are wherever they at in the world, they would hear it, they would hear the message, and they would remember. They would be stirred up by way of remembrance. And that's the beginning process of the salvation. All right. And the nations, they all are witnessing our salvation wherever we at. Starting right here in Babylon, it says, when the breath of life entered into us, we stood upon our feet. And this was after they saw us spiritually dead. Revelation 11 chapter. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. And they were spiritually dead. They were blind. They were in darkness. But once that the breath of the Most High entered into us and we stood upon our feet, it said great fear fell upon them which saw them. So they're seeing our salvation, beginning with us a waking up, the great awakening, so to speak. And then you're going to see, they're going to witness the physical divine salvation when the Lord shows up with the angels. And they're going to be getting dealt with when you're going to have a few other heathen that's going to witness the destruction of America. They're going to see the smoke of her torment. So that means that there is going to be some heathen that's going to be still alive on earth. And they're going to be preserved just to be inherited. That's not salvation. But we will, once we get them squared away, we're going to show them the true way of how to live on earth. But we're going to spend that 1,000-year reign, all right, basically judging them, getting them in order. All right, they're going to have to suffer the vengeance because of what they've done to the nation of Israel. They're going to build up the kingdom. So basically, they're going to clean up the mess that they made on our earth. That's what we're going to get them to do. And then we're going to show them the true and proper way of how to, live. All right. So, that's pretty much the lesson. Hopefully, I'm edified. Call Lord Yahweh Shalom.